What's going on? Welcome. Thanks for checking out this video. I gotta admit, I was seriously taken aback when I discovered this story here. In the world of big-mouthed Hollywood celebrities with absolute garbage political opinions, Tim Robbins is right up there with the likes of Michael Rappaport or Mark Ruffalo. But in the spirit of the holiday season, I'm gonna at least give props to him for talking some sense for once in his life when pretty much everyone else in Hollywood is not. So the topic of conversation he had is, very annoyingly, pretty much forbidden on here, so I'll need to choose my words carefully, so bear with me. So like I was saying, Tim Robbins is usually very obnoxious about expressing his garbage political opinions. So to see him speaking about this so sensibly and with actual compassion towards people with opposing viewpoints to his is truly bizarre. It's like seeing Michael Moore saying no to a triple cheeseburger smothered in bacon grease. It just doesn't happen. But I will always give credit where it's due, because Tim Robbins really hits the nail on the head when expressing his disdain for his fellow nutjob celebrities' pure malevolence towards anyone who didn't bow down and follow their every demand in regards to the Koof situation. So let's check it out. Tim Robbins blasts vitriol spewed by Hollywood celebs like Sean Penn toward Americans over the lockdowns. Ask a Gen Xer who some of the most obnoxiously leftist actors are. Many lists will include Tim Robbins and Sean Penn. Throw in Michael Moore, and they are the three tenors of socialism. The difference being politics aside, Robbins will always have the Shawshank Redemption. Outside of shagging Madonna before everyone else and Fast Times at Ridgemont High, I can't name anything Sean Penn has done without looking it up. Yeah, same for me. I couldn't tell you what movie Sean Penn has done. All that comes to mind is his constant annoying virtue signaling. Shawshank Redemption is one of my favorite movies of all time, though, so Tim gets points for that, too. And while Penn is still signaling his virtue in America and overseas, it's been a minute since we've heard from Tim. I was surprised to see this clip of the actor having a kibitz with Russell Brand about the lockdowns, and the vitriol pro-lockdowners in Hollywood spewed at Americans who had any opposing viewpoint or made any different decision about their health. Alright, so here's a clip of his conversation. Credit to Russell Brand, who's absolutely kicking ass on Rumble, by the way.
It's not good. We turned into tribal, angry, vengeful people. And I don't think that's something that is sustainable for the earth, that we start demonizing people that don't agree with our particular health policies and turn them into monsters, turn them into pariahs, say that they don't deserve a hospital bed. I think about, people that have made bad mistakes in their lives where they take too many drugs and they overdose. And that's totally their choice. That's totally their responsibility. Yet we take care of them. Yet we bring them to the hospital. Yet we save their lives because we're compassionate, because we want to make sure that people live. And this turned. It turned into you should fucking die because you have not complied. That's incredibly dangerous.
All right, now while I don't agree with him essentially saying that people who never got the poke are the same as a hopeless drug addict with self-destructive tendencies, I think that's an absolutely ludicrous analogy with absolutely no basis in reality. I still do agree with his overall point. It's not even remotely sustainable to have so many of these vengeful people out there wishing deletion on millions of Americans just because they wouldn't abide by their demands. Calling that dangerous doesn't even begin to adequately classify the potential outcomes that could arise from that kind of talk. And millions of people think that way. It isn't only Hollywood. Robbins then drew a comparison with drug addicts. All right, well, that first part was in the video. So Tim continued, "We don't say you should effing die as we do people who didn't get their poke, or even haven't gotten all of their pokes. What's fascinating is that upon seeing this Tim Robbins clip on Rumble, a few videos down was a resurfaced Sean Penn clip from 2021 where he did exactly what Robbins has a problem with. Penn called it criminal for people to have made a different decision than him. Yeah, well, Sean Penn's an idiot. On another occasion, he compared making the decision to not get your poke to literally pointing your gun in someone's face. And he's hardly the only celebrity who engaged in such rhetoric. It's nice to see people like Tim Robbins speaking out like this. It would be nicer if names were named and specific people were shamed and called out for their actions. Agreed, but that's probably asking way too much from him. The only reason I think he's feeling comfortable enough to say this at all is because he's so old and his career is pretty much done already. He doesn't really need to worry about becoming a pariah himself. You know, it's really fucking telling that he could become an outcast in Hollywood for saying that celebrities need to be more compassionate towards those they disagree with. So Hollywood is a truly rotten place full of even worse people. And Sean Penn is a freaking scumbag. So yeah. Props to Tim Robbins for speaking some sense about this. I'll just never understand how these people can wish such horrible things on others and still think they're the good guys. Fear really turns people into absolute monsters. So let me know what you think of Tim Robbins' thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and check out one of these other videos I uploaded recently. Or consider subscribing if you want more content just like this. I'll catch you all later.